what's good? What's good out there? We are back with another episode Up Court Vision. As always, we got the great one, Donnie Tsunami, the OG, triple OG, Money Dane, and me, F. Dot Woods. Let's get right into it, fellas. You know what I mean? How we doing today? How we doing, Tsunami?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, I can't complain.
How we doing, Money Dane?
You already know we here. Let's get it in.
All right. So let's get right into the first one. Will Zion push the Pelicans into the playoffs? Tsunami, it's on you.
Right off top, I'm gonna say no, and the reason being is because it's two glaring things for me when I watch the Pelicans play ever since they came to the bubble. The first thing is they need Zion to win. I mean, that's obvious that in the numbers you can see that they need Zion to win. The second is the man is out of shape, right? So he only been playing about 15 minutes a game, and then the last game, they tried to give him about 10 more minutes. I think the coach said he wanted to try to give him, but about 4 minutes through that 10 minutes, you saw that he just wasn't there. He was tired. He wasn't getting back on defense. He was walking. He wasn't closing out on his assignments. He was just letting people shoot. So they pretty much had to take him out halfway through what they wanted to give him. So if he can't play when they need him to play, which is the whole fourth quarter, obviously, I don't see him pushing them to the playoffs, man. And they really haven't been doing it. Also, Lonzo Ball needs to do a lot better. Like he not finishing at the rim really well. He passed, and that's just, that's obviously what he do. He could pass, but he got to finish at the basket, and he got to shoot a lot better for them to be successful.
Money Dane?
Knowing what we know now about Jaren Jackson from Memphis, I'm going to say Zion will push. And he will push the Pelicans into the playoffs this year. I agree somewhat with Tsunami when he says that, he's not in shape. Me personally, I don't think that his skill set at this moment is overwhelming, but he's a winner. He does all the little things. And when he was on the court in his last game, he pushed them to victory in the fourth quarter. So I think at the end of the day, we need to really look at that and understand that this young man is here and he has a chance. Because I believe you only have to get about 3.5, be within about 3.5 games, have a playing game for the 8th spot. And I think Oklahoma City will be right there. I think they will be.
You mean New Orleans?
Oh, yeah. New Orleans, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think you got to be within 4 games of the 8th seed to get the playing game. But we could double check that. But I don't think he's going to do it. And really, it has nothing to do with – I mean, everything that y'all said, I agree with both of y'all on how he's playing and the things he needs to improve upon, like getting in better shape so he can actually consistently contribute. But the minutes that he is putting on the floor, he is playing well. But he's not going to be able to push them into the playoffs because Portland is playing so well.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like Portland, they got the experience. They got the guard play. Melo's kind of getting to it. He's been hitting in 2 games. He hit very big shots to help them win. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like right now, if I had to put, like, if it's go time and I'm putting it on the line for what team is going to go, I'm going to say it's going to be Portland. So to me, like, no matter what Zion do, he's not going to push the Pelicans into the playoffs because Portland's going to get that 8th seed. Like,
you're right.
They too strong. And honestly, out of all of those teams in contention, with Memphis included, like, Portland's the better team. I trust them to win more games, and I trust they make them to get the job done.
In the game they lost, Melo hit 2 big shots to bring them back to tie the game up, and then he had the shot. He had the shot.
They won that game. They ended up winning that game in OT.
Right.
Dame took over. Melo got them into. He hit the two big shots. He missed the one. They won in the OT. And then Dame got busy.
He barely missed that. That would have been crazy if he would have made that. I was hoping he would have made that. That would have been.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about that game, right? And that was the game that stuck out to me too, right? Like Damian Lillard, bro. Yo, during that game, he made so many adjustments within the game. The way they was playing him, what he started doing, as how he was gonna attack the double team. Like that guy is smart, bro. I really like his basketball pedigree, man. That guy, I really like Dame Lillard. Like he's a baller.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
They backcourt crazy. Like
Lillard is definitely an assassin. You know, I think, man, I didn't even really think about Portland. The question was centered around Zion, and I really didn't think about Portland. But Portland got Nurkic back. You know, they have Pat Collins back. They got one of the best. They got top 3 best backcourts in the league because Dame Lillard is an assassin.
And so is McCollum. He get buckets. He a bucket.
That's my man. That's Killer McCollum. He's a killer too. You got an assassin and a killer in the backcourt. Like
a bucket too.
New Orleans might be a little too young. They might push.
And they got Collins back with Nurkic. Like they forming in the shape.
I mean, like how can it play out? At the end of the day, Memphis can drop out. Am I correct?
Nah, because all the other teams need to do is be 4 games within Memphis to get the playing game.
Exactly, but can Memphis drop out?
Yeah, which they probably are. They just lost Jaren Jackson Jr. He got a torn. He's out for the rest of the season. They don't really got they don't got somebody on their roster right now that can replace his production.
Yeah, because he was getting a lot of bucks.
So now you're looking at San Antonio.
Yeah. Phoenix.
But you also got to look at Phoenix because Phoenix 2-0 in the bubble. Right?
Yeah, boy, Devin Booker, big shot today.
Booker big kill.
Yeah. And then you got to look at New Orleans. So it depends on who's going to get that 8th spot and who's going to be within 3.5, 4 games to get the play-in game. I think that's what's going to be important. I think, and can Portland
I think right now Sacramento's 3.5 games back.
My question is this, right? If multiple teams is in a position or 4 games out from the 8th seed, are they going to be multiple playing games? Like how that's going to work?
I think they're probably going to do something where they go by probably maybe win a percentage or like the head-to-head, like how that go. You know what I mean? I'll find out more information on that and get back to you guys about that.
That'd be
we got to look at
that's what it look like it's boiling down to. It's going to be multiple teams that could be an 8th seed. You got to have more than one game.
What we got to look at is that possible based on the games that's being played and who's playing each other. Because everybody can't win, especially if they got to play each other within these last, 5, 6 games, 4 or 5 games. If those teams have to play each other, that's going to work itself out.
That's why it was important that when Memphis played Portland, Memphis got that dub. Yeah, that was a big win for Portland.
That was huge.
Like that was a huge win for Portland. You know what I mean? But like I said, honestly, like I think it's gonna end up being probably between San Antonio, Phoenix, and Portland. Because I really think that Memphis is gonna play. They already 0-2? Have they won a game yet?
I believe they did win a game. I'm not too positive.
They're not really playing well. You know what I mean? And now they hurt. Like Ja Morant is kind of struggling. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see them. I see them falling out of contention.
The bad part about it is Ja Morant made such a fuss about the playing games in the first place. He was saying that, you know, they deserve, if they held the 8th seed, they deserve to play the 8th seed.
Yeah, now he's gonna be wishing that they get that playing game. They're gonna need it.
That's ironic. Really ironic.
They gonna need it. All right. So next question. So first, I'm gonna say that I'm happy that the MLB has come back because, like, you know, I love baseball. I like watching baseball, but with everything that's going on, with the COVID cases ramping up on multiple teams, the league having to postpone games and cancel games because of COVID, should the MLB continue the season? Dame, it's on you.
I don't know with the way things are going, and if they try to bring players in to cover up for the players that's getting COVID and everything like that, it's going to be a tainted season. And it's kind of unfortunate because my Yankees are ready right now. We were ready for the season. I'll tell you that right now. But if everybody is not at full strength, this season is going to be a loss in most people's eyes as far as who was playing at the time. They don't have a situation where they have a bubble and everybody is within a bubble and playing. And I think that's the biggest thing that's kind of going on. You can't stop this. All the traveling and people going different places, and I think they should. I think it's going to be a situation where it's not a good thing to play, and at the end of the day, it might be canceled. You know, they were able to at the end of the day get a little bit of revenue back, but I don't think it's going to last.
Tsunami.
Yeah, I agree with you, Money. I don't think it's worth it. If you just look at it, a couple teams, about 5 of them already got players and coaches and other people amongst the faculty that got COVID. Cincinnati, Miami, Philadelphia, St. Louis, and Washington all got people that got COVID. They had games canceled. People was opting out. You got big names. I mean, not really too many big names, but I see like Buster Posey and Ryan Zimmerman, David Price, Felix Hernandez, they all opted out. It's 11 umpires decided that they didn't want to play. We all just heard about Cespedes. I said his name wrong. Cespedes from the Mets. He just walked out. He didn't even want him. He just walked out. Like, people was genuinely scared. Like, the MLB really got to figure out a way where they could make the players feel more safe and they could contain them. Like, they have to do something like the NBA. It is last minute, but that's little. I can't see it working any other way. I can't see football working any other way, but that's a different subject for a different day. But I don't really see the MLB working any other way unless they do some bubble style like the NBA, because we could see this works. It's been working for about a month now. They haven't had any cases. The cases they had, they quickly got them quarantined and got them healthy and got them back on the court. Westbrook, perfect example. Feel me? He playing. Nobody got it from him yet. All period. I don't want to say yet because that sounds like I'm hoping that it's gonna happen, but you get the point. They handled it perfectly, and MLB just got to figure out a better way. And this ain't it. So cancel it until they figure it out.
I don't even think we should cancel it till they figure it out. I think it should just be dead, period. Like, next year, they got to figure out what they're going to do as long as this persists as to how they're going to keep the players safe. You came back, you had a shortened season. It was 60 games. That y'all was going back and forth about how y'all was going to do it, how y'all was going to come back, trying to reach an agreement between the league and the players. Y'all finally did that. You got the product out there. The product obviously isn't safe. The players don't even feel comfortable. If some people started playing and then opted out during the shortened season, like, it's not worth it. Like, they just need to not continue the season. Like, it's a wrap. Like, I mean, I love baseball just as much as the next person. Obviously, I was hyped when it started, but you know what I mean? Selfishly, yes, because I want to watch baseball. But honestly, like, these guys' health is more important. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think MLB – I just don't think they have the means to make it as safe as they want to put their product consistently out there. So with that being said, I do not think that they should continue the season.
Yeah, I want to be clear. I'm agreeing with both of you guys. I don't think they should complete the season, and I'm saying like if the MLB got more players and more parts than the NBA, so it'd be harder for them to just pull a bubble out of thin air. So
Exactly.
I understand it's a process. So I guess what I'm saying is cancel this season and try to figure it out for next year. Like they're $1 billion
Facts.
league. I know you're missing a lot of money this year, but it's more important to keep your players healthy because they put the product out than you putting their health at risk for a couple of dollars this year. 60 games ain't really gonna make it. That's 108 games money that you're missing. So like this is not even worth it, man. It's not.
Yeah, I agree. You was gonna say something, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Tsunami and I had a conversation the other day, and we talked about different options for like the NFL and everything else.
Absolutely.
But probably the best thing to do right now is to shut it down and put all your energy into looking for a place where you can have a bubble type situation and see how many baseball fields you would need. And Tsunami has some great ideas about like space that like Disney World has. You know what I mean? So I don't want to elaborate on that because that's his shine. He should say what he was telling me. He had a lot of great ideas. The only thing that I disagree with him on, I'm like, it wasn't enough time to cultivate what they really needed to do. But his ideas and where he was going with it and the research that he did was right on point.
Hold on. I'm trying to, because I remember the conversation. I'm just trying to make sure. Okay, so Disney World got 25K acres, 25,000 acres of land. Okay, park is about 5,000 acres. Okay, the NBA bubble, they are using about 100 of those acres. So they pretty much got 20,000 acres of land open with nothing, undeveloped land. It's just open, bro. So my idea was that the MLB would use that. Well, we was talking about the NFL, but the MLB and the NFL actually can both go to Florida and make a bubble style like the NBA. It would be costly, but it's worth it to keep the product out there. And they could get it ready for next year if they start doing it now. They probably won't have it ready this year, but next year they could be ready. NFL in the MLB and the NBA all could play on Disney World Resort, chill. They could. I wouldn't bring my family out there, but you know they could do the bubble style type thing, and it could work.
Yeah,
Yo, real quick, before you go to the next topic, like Tsunami, I'm gonna tell you that's a hell of an idea. That's the idea. Like I don't even think we should even put this segment out. Like we're gonna hold this for the hidden files. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, yo, I'm talking straight business on some serious stuff. Like if you shop this idea to the right person, you may be able to get paid off this. And that's all I want is a little piece. You know what I mean? Because it's your idea. I just need a little piece.
Hey, if you put me in a place to talk to the right people, I'll absolutely hook you up. But we got to put this content out there so they can see that if I do get that idea out there that, hey, you feel me? It's
then somebody else will capitalize off your idea. This is hidden files material. So like if it go through, we could show this and say this happened. We spoke about this. This is real.
You got to speak it into existence.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like you get with the right person and you shop this idea for what we about to go through. I believe this is going to happen in everything that we see from now. Any schools that's going in this session and all that kind of stuff, it's going to show you that this right here is real. You know what I mean? The virus thing is real. So to bring everybody back together and try to do this, like the NBA is doing well with it. Why? Because they put in place a situation where the players have to stay in one place. You have it self-contained. But anywhere where you don't have this thing self-contained, you have people fluctuating. We don't even let normal Americans fly to certain states. You know why? Because those are high risk states. The airlines are not going to certain states. So why should these baseball players go back and forth to different states and be in different areas where they can contract the virus? And then
That's why
at the end of the day, they're going back and forth to their families. Who knows? Like, the one thing you can't control with this is who other people mingle with. And we had this talk earlier. Only thing you can do is make sure that your immunity system is boosted, because there's no way that every single one of us is not coming in contact with this. Real talk. So if you think you out here and you wearing a mask and you good, but you going to the places that you think you need to be, don't think that it's not around. Can your immune system fight it all? That's where I'm at with it. Because anything else would be totally uncivilized to me. To lock yourself in a bubble and think, I'm not going to socialize with this person, that person. That's insanity.
Yeah, you want to turn it.
That's straight insanity.
That'll make you insane too.
That's real stuff.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of lose your mental a little bit like that.
Yeah. Go into the conspiracy theorist stuff. Like, why is all the nutritionists and the people who could teach us how to do stuff for our body and get our body right, why are they not around to tell us anything right now? Because they all gone. There's a reason behind that. Because right now they pumping this medicine, a vaccine.
Hey, let's not go too deep in it now. Let's stay on course, man. You feel me?
I don't know. It's all related.
It is. I mean, they don't even have a vaccine yet. They don't know what they're doing yet. But let's get into the next question. If Portland makes the playoffs, can they upset the Lakers in the first round?
It's on me.
Yeah, it's on you, Tsunami.
I had to come back fast for that one. I had to come back fast for that one.
Absolutely not. I mean, I think Portland could take a couple games, but I don't think they could beat LA. They don't got nothing for Anthony Davis. I don't think nobody on Portland could guard Anthony Davis. Hassan Whiteside and Nurkic, they're gonna do okay, but I feel like he's gonna kill both of them. And nobody can't guard LeBron on Portland. Who could guard LeBron on Portland? I mean, I feel like in that series he would be the X factor. The way he would play would determine the whole series, because he the mismatch in the whole thing. He really the mismatch in every series, but it's more glaring in Portland. Melo can't check him. Who coming in that's checking him? Nobody. At least
Money Dan?
Oh.
What you think?
I mean, before we even get to the question, I just wholeheartedly disagree with the question. That's probably my fault. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why this question came up. You see the jersey I got in the back over here. We're talking about this.
There we go. There we go.
That's what that is? That's a jersey?
Okay. Now, honestly, that's something I never even wanted to think about, because I think Portland got something over there. Portland got something over there that nobody understands what they have over there. You got to think about it. You got Lillard and you got McCollum in the backcourt, who is arguably one of the, like, I don't know who I could think about in the backcourt at the 1 and 2 that's better than those two, and that could put up the numbers that they could put up. And that's tough alpha males.
Westbrook
right?
and Harden.
I don't like them like that. I like Westbrook. I'm not a Harden fan. He's one of the greatest scorers that we've seen in the game, but that's just me. You know what I mean? I don't disrespect his game. I just think he take more than 2 steps all the time, but that's just what it is. But like,
who was he taking advantage?
They got Melo. Any team that have Melo, you got a shot. But not to mention that they got Nurkic back. That's big. He could bang with anybody. All right, now, on top of that, they got Whiteside on the bench. Whiteside is a great a great center coming off the bench. A great center coming off the bench. Because he's played in a situation at Miami. We had to play at a high level. He's just very inconsistent, but it's good for him coming off the bench. You got the kid, Zach Collins. They got a lot of pieces over there. A lot of pieces. And I think they might be able to cause the Lakers maybe a little bit of problem. You know what I mean? When you look at them defensively, at the 1 and 2 spot, who guarding Lillard? Rondo not there right now. Who's guarding Lillard? All right, and then who's guarding McCollum? They're gonna put Caldwell Pope over there. He's supposed to. I didn't see the Lakers play, and I love the Lakers to death, but I think that would be a bad matchup for them at this point. And
so this
they had to play at the top of their game to win.
So this is what I'm saying, right? In the end, I don't think that they're going to upset the Lakers because I think the Lakers, they just got too much for them. There's a reason why they're the number 1 seed. Like, you know what I mean? Anthony Davis and LeBron, they just playing at a different level. And LeBron and Anthony Davis have a point to prove. Anthony Davis put up good numbers on a bad team. Now he's in a good situation with another great player. Like, he has something to prove in this playoffs. Like, and I expect him to be a dog in this playoff series, especially against if they play Portland or whoever they play in that first round. And LeBron, you already know what mission LeBron's on. Wash King. Like, you already know what mission he on. So, you know what I mean? Both of them, like, have stuff to prove. I think that Portland will make the series interesting for the simple fact that the Lakers, the one thing they had trouble with all season this year was guarding teams with good guards, where the guards could penetrate and score. Like, they have trouble with those type of teams. And there's a reason why. And they come into the bubble without Avery Bradley, who was the best wing defender. And they're gonna play Portland in the first round. Dame Lillard and McCollum gonna give them nightmares that whole series. The Lakers are gonna pull it off. They're gonna win, but it ain't gonna be easy. Like, it's not. They're not sweeping them. It's not gonna be easy. And McCollum and Lillard is gonna give them a headache. Like,
Portland is not
in the end. But in the end, Portland don't got they don't got it not for the Lakers.
I don't know.
I mean, I think if they had to play one of the 2 LA teams, they might want to play the Lakers because of that guard situation, so they know they'll have the advantage. Because if they play the Clippers switching everything, that they're not gonna have that advantage like that. But against the Lakers, like, we know that the Lakers perimeter, we know that the Lakers guard defense is suspect. So that would help them. But even with that, the Portland's still not going to beat the Lakers. I give them, they're going to get a fighting chance, but in the end, it's going to be a wrap.
But you know what? That's all you need in this game right here is a fighting chance. You know what I mean? It's not like the Lakers is playing at home. And like I said, that's my team. But that's one of the teams that I would be a little scared to play. You know what I mean? Because anything can happen in this thing. And my personal thoughts, you know what I mean, I want the Lakers to win. My personal thoughts is a team that we never thought was going to win it may win it. Yeah. This is the perfect opportunity for any team right now. Perfect opportunity, the perfect setting and everything.
Yeah, but if you a low-level team, you want to see the Lakers in the first round, though?
No.
I don't think you want to see the Lakers in the first round.
During this coronavirus, I would rather see the Lakers right now than see them if it was a regular season. This is the time to see any team right now. Who the Clippers lost to tonight?
They lost to Phoenix.
There you go.
Point.
Yeah, that's one game. We talking about a 7-game series, dog.
Yeah,
you're right.
7 is different.
We talking that. Nah, I just don't see it. Like I said, I definitely respect Lillard and McCollum. I think that they're going to make the playoffs. I've been saying that since the beginning when this whole thing started, that they was going to be in that 8th seed. But they're going to make it interesting, but they not beating the Lakers in the first round. That's not happening. I tell you, we didn't seen stranger things. And with this COVID, you may see it.
Yeah,
like I said, I don't want to see it.
We ain't about to see that.
I hope not.
For
I hope not.
the sake of your jersey.
Yeah, for real.
So, getting the football, should the Seahawks sign Antonio Brown? Will he give them that piece that they need to contend this season? Should the Seattle Seahawks sign Antonio Brown? Now, I believe he got he's getting if a team signs him, he has an 8-game suspension, right? That he has from the NFL just passed down on him or whatever. You know, he's still fighting that legal trouble from the domestic violence situation. He's still got that going on with him. So teams are obviously going to have to take that into consideration when they sign him. But specifically, should the Seattle Seahawks sign Antonio Brown? Money Dame, it's on you.
Yes, they should sign him. Sign him as fast as they can. But to your second question, will it take them where they need to be taken? I don't know what other, like, defensively, I'm not sure. They don't have Jadeveon Clowney anymore. The defense is a subpar defense. And
Didn't they just trade for Jamal Adams?
yeah, that's a good piece. One piece to the secondary. You need corners too, though. So unless they have some prime time corners and they have some people up front that could bring the pressure, that's what you really need. Now, Antonio Brown is going to make their offense more explosive. You know, once we see who they have in their backfield and if they could tote the ball, because Seattle, that's the team that like to tote the ball. But I would sign them if I could. If I was a Seattle Seahawks, I would absolutely sign them. Will this take them to where they need to be? I don't know if Antonio Brown is just going to take this whole team to where they need to be. He'll make them better offensively. But it takes three parts of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. So you got to win 2 of those games. I'm not sure they're ready to win defensively. Hopefully they'll be ready to win special teams wise. So if they had a great special teams year, I think they might be able to do something. But other than that, great sign. I don't know if it's going to take them to the promised land.
Tsunami.
I agree with Money, man. You know, Antonio Brown is an explosive player. He seemed to be humble right now. He's been through a lot. He been putting himself through a lot.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this is situations he put himself through a lot.
Yeah,
It ain't like nobody was picking on him.
Yeah, all of the damage is self-inflicted, but he worth the try, man. I feel like it's a gamble though, because he couldn't get it together in New England, and New England is one of those places where a lot of hothead dudes go, and they kind of get it together over there and figure it out, and he couldn't do it over there. So I'm kind of hard pressed to think he could do it in Seattle. And if I'm the Seahawks, he might not be on the top of my priority list. I should say. You know, like Money said, I would keep focusing on my defense to try to be able to help Russell on the other end of the ball. But if they can get a couple pieces on that end, then I would go for Antonio Brown. But that wouldn't be a top priority if I'm Seattle. Not for me.
If I'm Seattle, I'm signing that man ASAP. We talking about a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Like when he was playing, he was the best wide receiver in the NFL. I believe in Russell Wilson. He's top 5 quarterback in this league. You give a guy like Russell Wilson, a wide receiver like Antonio Brown, like I think that puts them right there with all the other teams that we got saying that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl this upcoming year, if the NFL actually happens this upcoming season. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big if, you know what I mean? But if the NFL actually happens this season, like, we got to if they sign Antonio Brown, we got to put them right up there with those teams that's contending to win a Super Bowl. Now, I don't think that signing in itself could make them win a Super Bowl. There, obviously, you need other pieces. Definitely on defense, as they made a major upgrade by trading for Jamal Adams, which I thought was a big win for them because that made their defense a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But you get a guy like that on defense. Now you're gonna upgrade your wide receiver position if you sign Antonio Brown. Like him and Russell Wilson, that's a tandem. That tandem will be crazy for one whole season. Well, it won't really be a whole season because Antonio Brown will miss 8 games. You know what I mean? That'll be kind of whack. But you know what I'm saying? Like if I was Seattle, I would still, like, I don't know. If I had the opportunity to, and they had the right pieces in place, you kind of have to have a good locker room in place for a character like that on your team. You know what I mean? Which is why Russell Wilson might be good, or he might be good bred in a place like Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Where they got the pieces in the locker room to try to help contain that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he as a man on his own, nobody should have to try to help him right now. Right now, if he gets this opportunity, this second chance, he should be looking at that as a blessing and kind of make sure he gets his stuff together. You know what I'm saying? To even have this opportunity to be back in the NFL if a team signs him. You know what I'm saying? Because even though he wrote that thing on Twitter, like, I don't believe none of that till I see it. You know what I'm saying? Your actions speak louder than words. You can say all you want. You can type all you want. Like, I need to see you do it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't – like, what receivers do they have in Seattle right now that you telling me they can't sign Antonio Brown? He's a major upgrade over there. Like, that will help Russell Wilson tremendously.
No, I didn't say they couldn't sign Antonio Brown. I said he shouldn't be on top priority on a list because, one, he's going to miss the first 8 games. 2, he's going to ask for a bunch of money that's going to tie up from being there.
He's not in the position to ask for bread. He's not.
You don't think he will, though?
So it don't matter if he will. He can't. He's not even in the league right now. Like, he's not in position to ask for bread like that.
Exactly. So why would you make that a priority when you even know you're going to go through that circus? Like, I feel like that's – I don't know. I would make sure I get other pieces first if I'm Seattle, and then I would go after Antonio Brown. And then whatever he want to go with, that's what I would do. If you want to ask for crazy money, I'm not with it. Or at least I got other people already. That's all I'm saying. I would go get him, but I would get other people first. And that might
tell you what.
He might be mad you went and got other people before you asked him.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Antonio Brown should go to the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, that's all. That'd be a real good situation. He get to play with his cousin. He got Lamar Jackson. They got Jim Harbaugh. I definitely, as a leader, I like him. You know what I'm saying? As a leader of men, I think he's a good coach. You know what I mean? I think that'd be a real good situation for him.
They don't need him for the first 8 games.
Facts.
Not in Baltimore.
They need him for the last games and the playoffs. That's what they need.
Playoff push.
You know what I mean? And I think that he'll have who's over there? Ozzie Newsome. He used to play for the Cleveland Browns before he's in the front office. He needs some good guidance around him. And if he had good guidance, he would make better decisions and better choices on how he's portraying himself and everything like that. But I don't know if you guys know, his father used to play football up here for the Albany Firebirds. You know what I mean? Back in the late 90s. Right? Yeah, that's touchdown Eddie Brown. Now, there's only 2 players in arena football history that's made it to the Hall of Fame. That's Kurt Warner and touchdown Eddie Brown. You got to think about this. Touchdown Eddie Brown was up here in Albany playing football. Antonio Brown was in Florida. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So homie may have some issues that he need to get situated. He probably done seen a lot. He didn't have the guidance that he probably needed. So when a lot of people talk about his situation and everything, you might not understand it. It's hard for any of us to see it from the outside looking in. We just know he make a lot of money. He should be doing better. But you got to look at the roots.
Yeah, but money can't control that. You got to work on yourself. That comes from within you.
Exactly. But if you don't have the tools,
With,
haven't had the people
business,
around you to help you and to mold you and to kind of see all the right things, you're a product of your environment. So whatever environment he was brought up in, that's who he is. He need help. That's why I love the interview with Dion and him. Dion was talking to him about a lot of the demons that he's facing right now. You know what I mean? They say money is the root of all evil. When you get all that money,
Yeah.
it change you.
It could bring out the worst in you.
right?
It can bring out the best or it can bring out the worst. And I mean,
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
he's seen the worst. I want to see it bring out the best in him.
No, I do. I
He
definitely
needs some
do
guys.
too. But he also, you know what I mean? That's why I said what I said when I first started saying about Baltimore. Like you just said, I just think in that locker room and in that organization, you got enough leaders of men that could help him. Like I feel like that'd be a real good situation for him. Like, yes, obviously I do feel like if Seattle has the opportunity, they should sign him. But where should he go? If I was him, I would, if he could, like Baltimore, that would be my first choice. I'd be trying to get there ASAP. I think it's a real good situation for the young man. All right, so moving on. The Coaches Awards came out, so it was co-coaches of this year. I mean, co-coaches of the year this year with Mike Budenholzer and Billy Donovan. But do you guys think that Nick Nurse deserved to be the coach of the year, the head coach of the Toronto Raptors, seeing as to what he did with that team after the loss of Kawhi Leonard, to see where they at, how they play both offensively and defensively, what they got going on over there, the position they in within the East that people probably didn't think they was going to be in. Do you think that he actually deserved to be coach of the year? Tsunami, it's on you.
Yeah, I do. I believe Nick Nurse deserved the coach of the year. He got Toronto. Well, one thing is very clear about the Raptors and Nick Nurse, right? He in his 2 years there, last year was his first year and he won a championship. And then so far this year, he's shown that he know how to use his roster and what he got and get the best out of his players. And that's showing this year more with guys like OG Anunoby. I hope I said his name. I didn't say his name right, but I think it's OG. I can't say
OG Anunoby.
He's playing really well, and Nick Nurse is doing a real good job putting his players in position to succeed. And Kyle Lowry is a guy that a lot of people don't really think about in terms of leadership, but under Nick Nurse guidance, man, he's been showing a lot of growth, and he don't get enough credit for that. And I think he should get more credit for the growth he shows as a leader to that Toronto team and leading them to the wins that they are achieving so far this year. So, yeah, I think Nick Nurse deserves it. But the NBA is political, and Milwaukee got Giannis.
Money Dame, what you think?
Nick Nurse. I think he should be the coach of the year because everybody thought that once Kawhi left, that team would fold. And Nick Nurse has done an excellent job of putting the players in positions. And this kind of just shows you how good of a team they were before Kawhi got there. Now, Kawhi pushed them over the top. And he pushed them over the top with one shot. One shot that bounced and bounced and bounced and went in. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking that shot away from him. I will never take that shot away from him. But it wasn't like they were resounding winners with him. But I tell you what, they right there without him. When you look at it, they right there without him. And that can only come from great coaching, cohesiveness, and other players stepping up into roles in which they didn't have last year. And they've done a great job of that. They showed that they beat the Lakers the other night. You know, they have a lot of good veterans. Their players have kind of seized the moment. And they look like they should be the team coming out the East. They look like the toughest team right now coming out the East. A team that nobody really wants to play because of how hard they play. And I think a lot of that comes from coaching and development. And it seems like Nick Nurse has done that. Like Budenholzer, great coach and everything. I'm pretty sure wasn't Milwaukee the number one team last year?
Yeah.
Going into the playoffs?
Yeah.
So they didn't do anything different. The one X factor they have is Giannis.
So,
I
definitely
like real quick, who was the other coach? It is co-coaches, right?
Billy Donovan.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I think it should be Nurse and Donovan.
So
it should be Nurse and Donovan.
I agree with what a lot of y'all said about Nick Nurse and what's going on in Toronto. Like I thought he did a hell of a job this year with the expectations. I don't even think people had real high expectations of them once Kawhi left. You know what I mean? I felt like his coaching style has helped the young players further their development. Like guys like Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, like both of those guys were key contributors to the team last year. But this year, they're playing much better than they did last year. And last year, they played well to help that team win. Because it's not like Kawhi won it on his own. Like him and Kyle Lowry, like, you know, you think about them too when you think about Toronto. But those other pieces around them have definitely, have blossomed these past couple of seasons. And you're starting to see that now this season without Kawhi. And I think a lot of that got to do with Nick Nurse and his ability to get those guys to play at their highest level. But I think that the coach of the year this year should have been singularly Billy Donovan. Like OKC lost Russell Westbrook. They lost Paul George. They had no star players. They got Chris Paul, and when they got Chris Paul, everybody was saying how Chris Paul don't want to be there. They need to get him out of there. He's going to play well in the beginning of the season so they could trade him, this, that, and the third. What did Billy Donovan do? All he's done was help that team be one of the biggest surprises in the NBA this season. Him along with Chris Paul. Like them, I'm going to say them too, because he's the coach, but Chris Paul came in there. He had to have the mindset that, no, I'm not just going to be here as the old guy to help these young guys develop. No, we winning. Like, I'm here to win. Yeah. And he got all of those pieces in line to win. Like, if I watched them play during the bubble, I watched them play during the season, there's an expectation of winning when they step on the floor. It's not an expectation of let's develop and play hard and take our lumps. Nah, the expectation is that we came out here to win. And Billy Donovan has established that. Like, he's done it when nobody thought he could do it. All those guys bounced on him. Well, not on him. You know, the organization had to trade pieces. You know what I mean? And when those guys left, you couldn't sit here and tell me that you thought Oklahoma City was going to be in the position they in right now.
Nah.
It's not like they at the top. It's not like they at the top of the West, but a lot of people ain't have them making the playoffs, period.
I ain't have them making the playoffs.
And they didn't even think that Chris Paul was going to last the whole season with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could respect what they doing more than Budenholzer coaching Milwaukee to have I think they have the number one overall. Do they have the number one overall record in the NBA right now? And the number one team in the East? Like, I get all of that. But to me, even with that, the job that Billy Donovan has done trumps that. Because I feel like the expectation was that they are not supposed to be where they're supposed to be. And he has coached that team up very, very well this season. And it doesn't hurt to have a leader like Chris Paul with you. What'd you say, Tsunami?
I said he exceeded his expectations. That's a fact.
I second that because I was going to say the exact same thing. He definitely did. When you look at it overall, you look at the body of work. You know what I mean? Like, me personally, I think Houston did a disservice to their whole team by letting Chris Paul go. And I don't think they let Chris Paul play his role. But going over to OKC, he showed I'm still that guy. Don't get it twisted. I'm still that guy. And I'm going to take some guys that you don't think that I could take. and I'm going to make them something. And he definitely did that. One of the most competitive teams in the league all season, and the most surprising team in the league this season for where they at.
Definitely. That's why.
Hold on.
What was you going to say, Tsunami?
I would have had agreed with you that Billy Donovan deserved the Coach of the Year, but I mean he got it. And I would agree with you that he deserved it based off of exceeding his expectations. But Nick Nurse's expectations was he had more pressure on him to perform with his team because of what they accomplished the year before. They just won champion. They just won a champion.
But did he really have pressure? Because everybody know Kawhi left.
He left.
So the pressure was, can they still be good without their best player? Was it
But the pressure was, can they still be good or can they win a title?
The question was it the system or was it Kawhi? That's the question, right? After the championship of Kawhi leaving, like, can they do it without Kawhi? So the question got to be, is it the system of Kawhi? And it's showing to be the system because they got a better record this year at the same time without Leonard than when they had him last year. So is the system showing to be?
You talking about a team that had everybody in place minus Kawhi Leonard, who definitely is a big factor to win. Now we talking about in the West, OKC, who just traded all of their star players. They have no one. There's just a bunch of young dogs with no experience at all.
They got Steven Adams.
You got Steven Adams. Who else?
That ain't enough.
Listen.
Like that's enough.
At the end of the day, they traded away their mother load. They traded away the mother load.
They was in rebuild mode. OKC was in rebuild.
So they traded away their mother load. They wasn't supposed to have anything based off of what we
zero
saw.
Success.
but also, like, I agree with you when you said Nick Nurse did a great job and everything.
Absolutely.
But the expectations were not for them to be where they are right now. It definitely wasn't. It wasn't about the system. Nobody was ever thinking about the system. Everybody was just thought about them having Kawhi.
Yeah.
And being that they had Kawhi, they had a chance because Kawhi is kind of thought about as, if not the top player in the league, he's definitely amongst the top of the top. You know what I mean? So when you look at the whole thing, like, it was never about the system. Now we get to see, oh shit, his system kind of worked. Whatever he's doing over there is kind of is all right. It's working.
Because you pay more attention to it now when you're not just paying attention to that one guy. Now you're paying attention to the whole thing. And now you're seeing all those pieces come together.
Not
you know what I mean? So definitely.
The fun guy, Kawhi.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I was going to say this, though. Like, what y'all was saying about Nick Nurse and the way they play, when after Tsunami and Dame, after your talk, I immediately started thinking about Eric Spoelstra. You know what I'm saying? Because Miami, it's like the same thing over there. You know what I mean? I don't think people – I know Jimmy Butler went there, but I don't think people really thought Miami was going to be all right this year. Like, the system over there, but they do with development in Miami, like, is grade A. Bam Adebayo's probably the most improved player in the league this year. You know what I'm saying? Their rookies are playing very well. They had unsigned dudes like Duncan Robinson, who is coming out here. He's balling, playing his role well. Jimmy Butler's leading the team. I see a lot of similarities in those two teams. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all started talking about Nick Nurse, I immediately started thinking about Spoelstra in that same manner. Even though Spoelstra also got rings. You know what I mean? He had LeBron in them, though. You know what I'm saying? But even then, like, you see what he's done without those guys. Like, yeah, he hasn't won a title, but Miami's always respectable.
Like, him and Nick Nurse got them type of systems that you could see that if they get the right type of caliber players, they're going to be in the chip almost every year on some San Antonio Greg Popovich joint. Like, them two teams you could see. Like, Miami ain't really have – besides LeBron and Wade after they left, when the last time Miami really had a player on their team that you like, they could get a bucket anytime they want?
They didn't.
That's Jimmy Butler now.
They didn't. And Jimmy Butler's my guy, but he's not even really that dude like that.
Nah, he
You know
can't
what I'm
get a bucket.
saying?
I like Jimmy Butler.
But he, like, you know what I'm saying? He definitely, as I say, on that team, the way that team is molded, like, yeah, you know what I mean? In clutch time, we're going to go with Jimmy Butler. We're going to ride with him. But he got the pieces that play so hard that they could help him get there to that point where he don't got to put the whole thing on his shoulders. Like, he has support. And I don't think people thought that he was going to have that support this season.
Yeah.
Until, like, we started seeing them play. Like, speaking on a side note, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we all feel like Ja Morant's going to win Rookie of the Year, but Kendrick Nunn balled out this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
he was no Ja Morant though.
Yeah, but in Miami, what he's able to do over there, like, I know Ja Morant balled out the shit. He's gonna win the Rookie of the Year. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, look at that Miami Heat team. Like, that guy, like, he's the key contributing factor with Jimmy Butler, and, like, as to why they're playing so well. I don't think anybody expected that from him.
Nobody expected it from him. But when you look
especially as a rookie.
Exactly, but look at who had the pressure. Ja Morant being the pick that he was, and Kendrick Nunn, he wasn't thought about to come in and
but
do
the Ja
anything.
Morant really have pressure. Everybody knew Memphis was terrible.
Exactly.
Everybody was like, oh, he's going to go there and they're going to make it the playoffs. He didn't have pressure
Exactly.
like that.
Hold on. He had the pressure because when you're a top 5 pick, right, in the NBA, or a top 3 pick, let's say that, you're supposed to come in and you're supposed to do something to show that you were worthy of that. None didn't have to do that. What Nunn had to do is just do what he could do, because the pressure was never on him. When Ja Morant came in, the pressure was on him to produce something. Now, it didn't have to be a playoff spot. It didn't have to be to put up great numbers, but he had to do something to show that he was worthy of that spot. He did that, and he definitely he exceeded expectations. They had the 8th spot.
But Warren, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. I'm not in disagreement with
you. Kendrick Nunn, I like him a lot. You know
like,
I mean?
I'm just saying, if we talking about the culture in Miami, like, you look at a guy like Kendrick Nunn, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why they doing what they doing over there. Like, they system, they put things down real well, and they get the best out of their players.
That's absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So we're going to end it like this. Yo, thanks, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of Up Court Vision. It's your boy, F. Dot. We got Donnie Tsunami, Money Dame. And once again, thank you for listening to Up Court Vision. I'll holla.